Hi, and welcome to Invertebrates. In this video, I'm gonna talk about a question I get a lot, and that question is, why the hell would you keep those in your house? In other words, I'm gonna talk about why myself and so many others keep tarantulas and other exotic invertebrates as pets. And I'm gonna break down some misconceptions. I'm gonna share some personal stories, and I'm gonna share with you why these creatures are amazing and not just creepy crawlies. So thanks for joining me. Let's start at the beginning. I've always been passionate about animals, very fascinated by animals, all kinds of animals, but I also had kind of a special love for the kind of the creepy ones, the ones that no one wanted to have anything to do with, so like spiders, snakes, lizards, animals like that. So when I was a little kid, I would run around and collect bugs and lizards and stuff, and I would keep them in a little jar overnight just to observe them, to kind of study them a little bit. And I guess that's where my curiosity for these animals really started. However, I, like a lot of people, picked up some common misconceptions when it came to spiders. So as I grew, I kind of started developing a very slight arachnophobia. But as I got older again, I realized I had no reasons to be scared of spiders. So I started looking into spiders, and I ended up, as I've heard a lot of other hobbies started like this, I ended up getting a tarantula to get over that fear. And the first spider I got was a Grammostola rosea, also known as the Chilean rosehair, which is a very common beginner species, and she was great. Her name was Belva. Unfortunately, she has passed at this point, but yeah, that's how it all started. And if you guys are collecting tarantulas or other invertebrates, maybe snakes, lizards, stuff like that, if you're in those kinds of hobbies, you might understand that once you got one, you're bitten by the bug, and I was too, so I ended up getting more spiders, and it developed to getting more and more tarantulas. I got some true spiders, I got centipedes, millipedes, I don't even know, I got cockroaches for food, of course, and just praying mantids. Almost forgot about those. Yeah, I kept getting more and more species, reading more about them. My passion just grew and grew. I just loved seeing these animals in a small outcut of their natural environment, a little mini world for them. It was just so cool to really get insight into their world, because their world was so foreign to me, and suddenly I have all these cool animals in my house, and I could really learn from watching them. Of course, I read a bunch, but I could learn from watching them with my own eyes, and that was amazing. But unfortunately, as I got more and more into the hobby of keeping exotic inverts, I also realized that there are quite a lot of common misconceptions when it comes to these animals, and a lot of hate. Actually, I got a lot of hate in the beginning. A lot of people were scared. They were almost, people actually got angry at me. They yelled at me for keeping these dangerous animals in my house, and I could have like really lashed out and be like, oh, what are you talking about? But I instead did another approach. So of course all this hatred came from fear, and I'm using the word misconceptions again. That's where it all stemmed from. That's where I realized, I mean, they're entitled to their opinion, and I totally understand why people find these animals so creepy. I get it. I mean, I get it. I look I look at them all the time, and I wouldn't want all my tarantulas to be roaming about my house. I am very happy that they're in their enclosed spaces. But I figured out, instead of being angry at these people who were like projecting their insecurities onto me, I wanted to educate them. So, I mean, there definitely were some unprompted monologues given out to a lot of people, but I think people they kind of picked up on my passion. They picked up on my knowledge when it came to these animals, and they realized, okay, this guy, he's legit. He knows what he's talking about, and I think they really could feel that, like, I'm so passionate about this, but I'm not a hateful person. So I think I really hope, and I think a lot of people, after I've talked to them, have actually changed their minds a little bit. And as I said, being able to observe these animals in a world that you never ever get to see, and also where you live, doesn't matter. I got spiders from Thailand, I got spiders from Mexico, I got spiders from Argentina, from all over the world, and they're all living in their little habitats in my house. And to me, that's amazing. I mean, it's such a privilege, I feel, to have the insight into their world, and you can keep it just as they live in the wild right here at home. And you get to see them make burrows, you get to see them web up. Of course, feeding is exciting, although I do feel bad for the feeder animals. But yeah, it's one of those things that I feel like if you haven't seen it with your own eyes, you don't really know what you're missing. And another thing people ask me about a lot is, aren't these spiders dangerous? Aren't they venomous? And yeah, I guess they are venomous, but they're not dangerous. Most tarantulas are harmless. Of course, if you are unlucky enough to have an allergy, and you probably won't know that, then getting bit is probably not great. But I for sure don't know if I'm allergic, because I've never ever been bit. And the reason is because I handle my animals with care, and I'm very careful when I have to interact with them in any way. If those doors are open to their vivariums, I'm very careful what I do. And mainly it's not because of my own fears, but it's because I know how fragile these creatures are. I mean, they can easily get hurt interacting with the human. So I don't really think about them being venomous or think about them being scary, because I know, like, I have to be careful what I do, because I am much, much larger, and I can do so much more damage to these spiders than they could to me. And as I said, for the most part, their venom is harmless. So even if they did bite me, and if they did bite me, it would be my fault. Because normally these animals, they want to be left alone. They don't want me interacting with them. I keep them to look at them. They're like an aquarium or a houseplant. Like, I look at them, I study them, I'm fascinated by just watching, and yeah, I've never been worried about getting bit. Of course, I try not to get bitten. If one is running towards me, I'll pull my hand back. Of course, I don't want to get bit either, but I don't want to risk the tarantula getting injured. If they bite me and I yank my hand back, maybe I'll fling this tarantula and it might actually get hurt. And so that's how I look at it, rather than looking at it from a standpoint of being scared of them. I'm scared of hurting them. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I feel. Alright, so I'm gonna wrap up this video here, and I really hope this video, if you watched it, I really hope you enjoyed it, of course, and feel free to let me know about that. But I also hope that it could inspire you to, if not, start going out and buying tarantulas and keeping them in your house. I understand if you don't want to do that, but at least keep an open mind for both people caring for spiders and snakes and lizards and all these kind of unusual pets. Keep an open mind. Like, these people are usually very caring and passionate about their animals that they keep, and myself as well. And I really think you're missing out if you haven't really looked into the world. So if you know someone who keep any of these animals, you should ask if you can come to their home. And as long as they are respectful, which most tarantula keepers I've met are very respectful to people having fears, so they won't like just take out the spider for you to hold or anything. They will let you kind of decide how you progress. And if you just get to study these animals up close. I think maybe you'll see what we see, and I hope you share that with me as well. If you have an experience like that, feel free to let me know. Send me a comment, send me a message, whatever. I would love to hear it. And if you want to look at more spiders and other inverts, I have an Instagram page, so you can check that one out, and I'll link that in the description. Yet again, please let me know what you think about the video and what you think about spiders and exotic inverts. I would love to know. And thanks so much for watching, and keep creeping on my crawlies.